I think I've told you many times how much I love Edge of Tomorrow. Just love that movie. Do you prefer people calling it Edge of Tomorrow or Live, Die, Repeat?
Live, Die, Repeat. I hated the Edge of Tomorrow title. I fought Warner Brothers on it, and they insisted. And I just think it's the wrong title for the movie, and I'm still hoping that the film gets fully rebranded. Because these films live forever in libraries.
Completely. That's one of those films though that every time I say to someone I'm going to talk to Emily Blunt or Tom Cruise or even you, everyone asks, what's going on with a sequel? Do you think a sequel can happen? And I believe you guys have an idea or possibly a script. Do you think a sequel can actually happen?
It could. It's a very high bar. Because we really that was a really challenging film to go make. I mean, time travel is time travel really when you try to develop a movie set in a world with time travel, you pretty quickly discover that humans are never going to travel through time because there's so many paradoxes that you can hardly get through a screenplay. I mean, to the point where at some point during the development of the screenplay of the first film, Warner Brothers said to me, like, does he need to travel through time? Maybe he could just battle aliens. And I was like, well, if you want me to make this movie, he does, because I'm not actually interested in the aliens. I'm interested in the repeating the day part. And so, and I've always been interested in the idea of a sequel being more character driven than the first film. And because that's not how things are normally done. And so that is the sort of, that has been my approach in terms of developing a sequel. Is like and because Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt are such phenomenal actors, I get sometimes, the sequel just has to have more firepower because, but our more explosions, but our you're just not going to get, no visual effect is going to top what you can get with a great scene written, a great scene performed by Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt.
Well, that's the thing a lot of people forget. If action doesn't matter if you don't care about the characters, and their performance is what drives that film. Do you think with HBO Max, is it easier to maybe get the financing or the ability to move forward on it because they're looking for product, they're looking for films, or is it one of these things that it's sort of tied up on the script and Tom's availability and Emily's availability?
It's one of these things where if Tom, Emily, and I were like, we're ready to pull the trigger on this script, like it's Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, like the film gets made. I mean, that's pretty much how Hollywood works. It's the stars are the gatekeepers. If you can get Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt to commit to a movie's going to happen.
My last question on this, how far along are you on a script? Is there something that you guys are like really happy with, or is it still just not there yet?
It's not there yet. But by the way, that's not really an impediment because, for Live, Die, Repeat, the script wasn't there when we started shooting. In fact, the Tom and I sort of often laugh about this, that, during prep on that movie, we would say to ourselves, there's nothing like a looming start date for the shoot to put pressure down to get the script right. And then while we were shooting the movie, we were saying to ourselves, there's nothing like a looming wrap day to really put pressure down on getting the script done.
Right.
And then while we were editing the movie, we're like, there's nothing like a looming release date to force you to get the script right. I mean, these are really big, it's a big imaginative movie. It's not, it's not some like Lockdown where, you know, it's one writer's singular vision and you know, you want to shoot that exact story with that intimacy. It's the canvas is just so much bigger than any one person.
Are you then a little bit surprised at how much people love the movie and how well it turned out, considering you didn't have a finished script when you started shooting?
No, in a way, I was sort of more disappointed that it took people time to find it. You know, that it was, and I think it's because Warner Brothers forced the wrong title on the movie. I've had that experience, you know, throughout my career where I've had movies that I'm incredibly proud of, and then they don't, like Born Identity didn't really perform when it first opened, but it eventually found an audience.
Yeah, I heard that one did pretty well.
But it's, you know, you need to, but at the time, you know, it stung. When Born Identity opened, it stung. When Edge of Tomorrow, Live Die Repeat opened, it stung, you know, but I try to not have it, I try to be zen and just say, well, I'm better that I am proud of the movie, like that should be the most important thing, but, you know, probably need some more therapy before I can fully, you know, do that.